right, this thing on. I'm gonna start off by singing you a little dad joke real quick, and it goes like this. Ooh, a man was sailing on a boat, and it was under the weather. So he took it to the boat dock. Yeah, he took it to the boat dock. All right. Sounding great, sounding beautiful, and we're back again with another video, man. How are you guys feeling out there? I'm just wanting to get on this video, not to it's kind of like not a really like a rant video, just an observative type of video. More things deal. Oh, and before I get started too, man, I'm wearing a throwback random MC Random shirt right now. If you can't see all of it, let me see if I can see that there. That's dope right there. Look at that with the boom box and high top, no laces, classic hip hop feel right there. But go check out Area 51. Like hip hop artists, Area 51 and MC Random and Flourish and Prosper. They are always over there doing something great. I'm really looking forward to connecting with everyone that out there that I can when I can. But nevertheless, for the time being, I am here with you again. And so lovely to have you. I love when you're here. So anyway, I kind of wanted to like just touch on a few things in freestyling right now. Never know how it's gonna go, but like I say, I can't afford to not try, and that's kind of like where this is how much can a person afford, right? Really not that much in this weird, wild, animalistic economy, this greed driven economy um, that everyone's living through right now, and how much that you have to do in order to get it done, right? And it's not necessarily because you don't want to work, it's at the detriment of you because it's like devaluing a system in a sense, right? Like, and that kind of follows narratives of stuff that I've seen in literature about business and stuff. And like, there seems to be like, no matter what you do, there's always a good side, a bad side, right? There's always, like I said, circumstantial, there's always different facets to things, right? Or that's how it seems anyway. It seems to be true though. And so on the darker side of business practices, you have this model of always trying to earn more while spending less, right? So some people might take that to a completely different extreme as far as we know, and decide that none of us deserve to make anything anyway, as we know we've already had slaves throughout history, regardless of the culture that you come from. So there are these personalities that seem to take that dark triad a little bit too far, you know what I'm saying? And so and so when you see me up here doing these things, I'm a very small channel. I don't get a lot of views. I don't have like tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of subscribers or anything like that. So really, I don't make any money off of doing these videos or anything like that. Just out there trying to work my business while doing these things, trying to hopefully I will spark something and get something going, but no, I don't earn a lot. And then but you also see other content creators talking about the same thing, and they do have large followings and things like that, and they don't make what they used to make. And so you kind of see this ideology like phasing itself into, I don't know if you want to call it the corporate agenda or whatever, but you see this kind of creeping in and pushing people to more extreme. So you have more people dropping more content, even myself, just so I don't get drowned out completely in that whole push and everything. But just how much is ever going to be enough? You know what I mean? Like you got to keep going. I know some people think like, oh, you get in front of the camera and you're just going to talk, or you're making music and stuff. But a lot of years of practice and expertise, or studying, researching, or on any level, whether it's skills for music or performing, speaking in front of people or speaking to people, editing, so on and so forth, takes a lot of effort. Sometimes takes a lot of money too, in order to get things out there, to promote it and things like that. But me, I do a lot of self promotion at this point, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't have like a major budget and a major staff, or I'm not, somebody who's got a deal or any kind of contracts or any sponsors or anything like that. So, but I'm not complaining or anything. I'm just trying to like observing, you know what I'm saying, and sharing the observations with you guys. And when you think it's easy to blow up out here, easy to get a lot of followers or subscribers, it really isn't. So that's why I always thank you guys and praise you guys, and whoever it is coming along with me for the journey. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not as simple as it seems. For some people, I don't know, maybe either there's something we don't know, or yeah, they just happen to fall into the algorithm, it favors them and it boosts up that post. But then also, can you do it consistently? Like if you see people get like 20,000 views, 100,000 views, the question is, how much can this person reproduce those results, right? Which is hard to do. And just to give you an idea of some of the research that I've done, and also through experience, you know what I'm saying? Like there's, excuse me, I'm sorry about that, but there's ratios that tend to is a breakdown in ratio of how things work. So it's like, and when you're promoting yourself and trying to get yourself out there as an unknown or someone who I wasn't like necessarily a complete unknown, but the times shift. Time moves forward, and not a lot of people know who I am now. So I'm kind of like pushing to do whatever I can, during the last stretch, So, but in order to as an unknown or someone who's small and up and coming, in order to gain any type of significant traction or any traction at all, just to show you what a person is up against, you would have to generate no less than 10,000 views to your material, right? And that's just one post. That's just one post. This is why people run ad campaigns, which are good. I'm not going to lie. It depends on how you use them. But if you use them correctly, non-intrusively, and just leave it up to at the user's disposal, like what they would like to do, if they're just going to come check out your billboard, then I think that's the most legitimate way, not intrusive at all. But you got to use methods to get out there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can get with some people with a large following, and that's great to get that love as well. You know what I'm saying? But and I plan on trying to do some of those things too. But nevertheless, if you're just trekking along on your own, you don't have any connections, you don't have anything, that's probably what you're going to be up against. And then it's no less than 10,000 guys, no less than 10,000. And then from there, so it ranges between 10,000 to roughly 50,000 people to gain any sort of significant traction. That would be like 1,000 views, which is hard enough to do. If anybody is out there pushing their own content, they know this. Sometimes you get a few blips on the radar, but then it's hard to reproduce those things consistently. So it's not as easy as it seems, and not as dependable as it seems either. And that's what a lot of people have been expressing. So like I said, this is just like an observatory type of piece that I'm doing right now, just like a video. But like, yeah, that info is between 10,000 to 50,000 views to generate anything. And in between, amongst that, right, like I said, is a breakdown in a ratio. You're casting a very large net, in other words, to catch a few fish, right? So, and not saying fish like they're lost, but you're trying to find people who are interested in what you're doing, what you're presenting, right? So it's a very large net, very, very, very large net. And from there, the breakdown is still somewhere around 10%, maybe a little bit less. You know what I'm saying? I'd say these days, the way how rapid things work, plus you have people with bots, plus you have, so the system's trying to discern what's real, what's not, all those things. I would say that drops the numbers of authentic views down a bit. So it used to probably be about 9.4, 9, just around roughly 10. But I would say now it's probably around 7, between 7.6 and the 9.6, depending on how well you are known you are, and things like that, like so, and material, I suppose, too. But yeah, so it's not as easy as it seems. Also, when it comes to the earning payout stuff, the ratios there when it comes to that stuff is a little bit skewed. And I can give you some old school facts that I know by heart, that I've learned ever since I was a young man at the age of 19, 20 years old, and know what the industry standard. And by the way, those standards didn't change until I would say it was, I would say, started to change the early 2000s, probably about after the deficit, really about 2010, probably, to be honest with you. But yeah, these companies started to try to pay out 0.0033% in some cases. So it's a fraction of pennies. They like to try to pay these people. However, I will let you know that what I know and understand, and this I still believe is the truth. And I don't like, So anyway, I'll get to it. 10 cents per spin. 10 cents per spin, 15 if you had a lot of credibility and were really well known. Like you're like, back in the days, I would be like someone like Michael Jackson or Prince or someone. They can demand maybe 15 cents per spin, but that's only with because they're attached to the label, right? But nevertheless, still a fair number, 10 cents per spin. You know what I'm saying? It's not like breaking the bank for 10 cents per spin. Those things are fair and above board. But we see a ninth of a fraction of a penny, which is the exact same number in reverse, and a negative quotient that we see. Is it dark energy? I believe it is. Why would you do the exact opposite? Like, it stands out like a sore thumb. Like, why would you do the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do? If the triangle is up, this one's upside down for show. You know what I'm saying? So that's some straight up bullshit. But like, aside from that, but those are the facts, is that, yeah, it's supposed to be about 10 cents, guys. So even when I hear people talking about, we're having serious conversations about getting it up to a penny, I don't want to hear any of that. That's another circus move. You guys, don't fall for it. That's a bunch of bullshit. Like, these guys are just trying to string you along because they're betting on you not knowing the business and not knowing what you should stand for, what to say, the going rates or prices, or your own value. And I think that's where anyone should start anyways, their own value, self-worth, understanding the skills and time that you put into something are worth something. But nevertheless, just like I said, I'm not going to rant. I'm not going to, turn it into another piece or anything. Just wanted to drop that. Just wanted to share what kind of, things that you may encounter, or that I encounter, or that any other creator encounters, man, and what they're up against, and how things, I think, should change. I do believe that as we move forward into the future, more and more people are going to be doing something to this nature for something they do, to present it, to talk to people, provide services, whatever it may be. But this, I think, is on some shape, way, or form here to stay regardless. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of corporatized entities moving into this space to try to turn it into the same thing that they've already done. And usually when that happens, it kind of stagnates that culture. It's not what they were there for, and they will look elsewhere to get their stimulation. So we still need those options, guys. If you're that person who knows how to build those platforms, we're all rooting for you too, because nevertheless, at one or two is great. The platforms we have, that's great because we have the option there, but we also are human beings who need more options, to get things out there and to be heard. Maybe one lane is very saturated, very crowded. So we need a place that's suitable for what we do, right? So on and so forth. So yeah, man, just, but nevertheless, just like I said, it's not a complaining video at all. It's an observatory video, and to, hopefully informative too. But to, to have a better understanding of what, like, people are facing, and what, in these trying times too, like, to be resourceful and to understand what exactly is going on. You know what I'm saying? As far as this stuff is concerned, like, so yeah, man, I try real hard. I keep doing this stuff. I do it mainly because I like it, to reach you guys. But absolutely, I never expected to be like, for doing these talk videos or anything. I never expected to be like, yo, this guy's got all the answers and he's the most popular guy or anything like that. But I definitely do, over time, I've definitely enjoyed being able to share pieces of information, just, share a lot, just share, you know what I'm saying, and connect, connect in the way that we do, so man, I always appreciate that. So but I hope you like the video. I hope that you like the video, enjoyed the video, I should say, enjoyed the content. I'm gonna get back to doing what I do. Like I said, I'm gonna be dropping a lot of stuff, so just bear with me. And yeah, man, let's push forward, you know what I'm saying, upwards and onwards, head down, barreling forward, but yeah, man, the understanding of what people have to do is increasing, and it's insane, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, whatever. But hey, just wanted to drop another topic with you guys, connect, and till the next video, man. All right, y'all, peace.